Have you ever loved something so much that you just want to make it happen every day? Me neither. This is a podcast a day. Another day, another pod. In real life, I've actually just been speaking about Football and Thunder, so I'm trying to act like I don't have the same migraine I still do have, because that was 5 seconds ago. Literally, I was just talking about that. And as you're seeing this, if you're seeing this exactly as and when it comes out, which is highly unlikely, right now, as in right now of this being posted, I am probably sat inside the cinema watching Dune Part 2. And yeah, outside of this little gimmick I got going on right now, gonna have to do a review for Dune Part 2. Because everyone's saying it's the dog's bollocks. I'm trying to think of other phrases like that. People are just saying it's pretty double decent. And I like the first one. It was like a slow burn though. Like, not throughout watching it, in terms of my feelings after seeing it. Probably thought it was like a 7 at first, and it sort of rose for me. 7.1. A couple of days later, 7.2. A couple of days later, 7.6. That was a big jump. Watching some video essays on it, maybe. Watching some film, watching some explained things on it. Watching this, oh, it's rising, it's rising. Law building, oh. Watching some scenes back on YouTube, maybe like 9 months later. Oh, watching some trailers for the new one. Retrospect, looking back at the old one. Oh, goes up maybe 7.9. Creeping into the 8s type thing. So, excited for the second one, part 2, watching it as of right now. But this time, we haven't got the beauty or the joy or the privilege to be talking about Dune Part 2, which I'm assuming is good. We're talking about... yeah, I did forget. Cherry. Tom Holland's Cherry. Or, you could argue, the Russo brothers' Cherry. That's right. Did you ever watch The Winter Soldier or Civil War and thought, I love these directors and the style they've given to the MCU. You know what I'd love to see them do? I would love to see them do a sort of addict, post-war, veteran, I don't know about veteran, but story. I'd love to see them tackle that. I feel like that's right up their alley. And yeah, it's not great. Cherry. It's probably, outside of the films that I would say, it's probably Tom Holland's. I would say it's arguably his worst, because obviously there's certain films you do, which is like Spies in Disguise or whatever and stuff like that. But I just feel like out of the films where it's trying to be good, it's just and that's the thing. It's really trying to be good. It feels like, and it's sort of in a lot of ways opposite to Marvel. It's kind of like the Russo brothers were like, yeah, Marvel, our wings were clipped, and like we had, we were making this thing, and and they do a good job in that. They fit that sort of box better. And now they was like, we've got a free reign to do what we want. And it was just sort of... It's like someone who's not actually a video editor trying to edit a music video and just trying to use every different, like a different editing technique. Like, yeah, I want it so like we got this thing, and then I want to use this technique. I want to use this style and this style and this style and this style, and then into this, and I want these whip pans, and then it cuts in, and then it's this slow zoom in, and then it talks to the camera, and then the screen starts melting, and then we just do like a bunch of like... it's just like, there is no start. Like, here's the thing, right? You could look at like Civil War and be like, that's a great film, but there's no style. It's just all grey and personalityness. Cherry equally kind of has no style, because it's just every style. Trying to do a bunch of things and into one thing, and it's just like, this is just doing everything. Maybe in Civil War you were doing nothing, this is doing everything, but it's kind of having the same effect. And at least those were enjoyable. Cherry, wanted to like it. Let's look at sort of Anthony Russo, Joe Russo's recent work before we get into the synopsis of it. Obviously, they've done Infinity War, my favorite Marvel movie. I'm shitting on these guys like I hate them. Endgame, think that could have been tighter. Not gonna lie, but still a cathartic experience. Civil War, great. The introduction of Tom Holland, I guess. Well, not I guess, it is. And they were on that. Sort of have this full circle moment with Cherry. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And then after Marvel, you kind of look at it and go, aye, not great. Cherry, which we're talking about, and I've not seen this, but I've not heard great things. And unfortunately, it's getting similar kind of reaction to what I'm talking about, which is no personality, blah, right? And the grey man, adequately named. So Look, these guys don't have a great success rate. Let's just say that when it comes to, you know, some of these projects. So here's the synopsis for you. I'll try and give you a. Well, I'm gonna have to try and think of a review by the end of this. Life leaves a mark. Cherry drifts from college dropout to army medic. I'm sorry. Oh wait, is something? No, it's just my. Anyway, I got distracted there. But no, sorry. Is Cherry his nickname? Is Cherry his name in the film? Like, Cherry drifts from college. Do they ever call him Cherry? I haven't seen this film. Well, it came out in 2021, so since then, um, that just caught me off guard. I don't remember why that would be the case. But Cherry drifts from college dropout to an army medic in Iraq, anchored only by his true love, Emily. But after returning from war with PTSD, his life spirals into drugs and crime, and he struggles to find his place in the world. And basically, because that doesn't really tell you enough, it's like he's like fighting in Iraq. He's like a medic and shit, saving lives and stuff. Gets PTSD, comes back, starts taking drugs and stuff. And the crimes they're referring to, I think he's taking like heroin and shit. Because like I remember a scene where he's like in the street and he's like needling and shit, and, you know, shooting up. And then the crimes is he goes into banks and he robs them and puts a gun up, and you know, I can't remember, but I want to say the film kind of has this like, I bet you're wondering how I got here type thing. And like all films that just lose it and go off the rails, they have a scene where like it's 20 years later and Tom Holland looks the exact same, but they give him like this sort of Pablo Escobar mustache, and it's just like, yeah, you've done it, you've lost, you've done the thing that these bad films do. You look at it with Don't Worry Darling, and it's like, oh, they've kind of lost what they don't know. And then you're seeing this time's flashbacks. Harry Styles put the extensions in, make him look like an incel, just thinking, oh, this wasn't, why did you ever think this would be good? Even in good films when they do it. And to be fair, this was still like an inkling feeling, even though they do it really well. This is probably the best you could do it, but like in Oppenheimer, they have that scene years later, and it's just Cillian Murphy, oldified as fuck, right? I just feel like avoid that usually. Just try and avoid flash forwards with your character. And this was one of those ones. And the thing is, Tom Holland's actually doing a good job. I kind of specifically remember like the look he gives in that moment where he's looking like sort of British Pablo Escobar, leaving prison jail. It's kind of got like a Baby Driver kind of vibe thing. I feel like that just felt right to say, but I don't remember. And yeah, you know, it's crazy. I liked some of the song choices in the film. Tom Holland's, you know, he's doing like a deeper cadence. He's like really going for like a deeper cadence in his voice. They try some stuff. Obviously, taking drugs, you know, it gives you an opportunity to try some weird camera work, effect kind of shit, which they try. Nothing consistent though. You know, I mean, it's all a bunch of trying. This film is very much trying stuff, you know, along the way. Not necessarily like we used this technique before in this prior film. We thought it would be really good to use here, or I saw this in a film I love, and I just thought that'd be perfect to catch. It was more just kind of like, what can we do on the day? What would just look awesome, maybe, when you're high off your face or whatever. And yeah, I know, you know, I think the actors all do a good job. Michael Gandolfini, the son of, I can't remember his dad's name, but he's like an icon or whatever. Goodfellas, Goodfellas. You know what it is. It's got a 2.8 on average. I gave it a 2. Let's read a couple of these reviews. Some of them are pretty long. Imagine Martin Scorsese tells you that you're only good for making amusement park rides for Disney babies, and you get spooked so bad that you tried to make a 2.5-hour dramatic adaptation of a bestseller that is markedly more shallow than the movies with the flag. Mate, you're being too clever for me. Basically, he's saying it's like you're trying to be Martin Scorsese, but you're shit, I guess is what he's saying. This one says, biggest revelation is that the Russo brothers would make pretty solid 2010s music video directors. Yeah, I think I remember a lot of people saying that this looked like a music video at times with like what they were going for. Do I review this movie seriously or jokingly? My possibilities are as open as Tom a-hole? I don't know. Oh wait. Does a asshole thing, does a butthole thing happen? Like, does he? I was like, why have they said that as open as Tom Holland's asshole? I haven't seen this since 2021. But then vaguely I remember there's like a scene maybe. Does he like sneak something into a place up his butt, or like he goes? Oh, before he like goes into the army or something, they have to do like an exam. Oh, and they have a scene, and one of the shots is like your POV. You're in Tom Holland's, type thing, and like you're the camera inside there, and it's like, again, just a choice. I guess I burned that out of my brain, and that brought it back. These two are in Spanish. Reviews, in case I'm getting back to the rest are in Spanish. This one's very long. How long is it? It's not too long, so I'll read it. The Russo brothers keep saying this movie is about the is about the opioid epidemic, and like, not really. It involves opioid addiction, but there's a whole hour of this movie that tackles masculinity and American imperialism in a much more suggestive way, before abandoning that and using the last half to just kind of go, damn, this guy's life is crazy, huh? It's such a flashy, stylish film that feels designed to keep your attention and move with a visual flair. And of course, that's what the directors of the biggest popular films of the decade would want to make. And I do not say that as an insult, but at a certain point, the flashiness feels tiring. Yeah, and I more or less agree with that. He worded it better than I could or did, and that is true. From looking, well, to be fair, he's talking after probably just seeing it. I haven't seen it for like a few years, but like, yeah, like, so so much of the film isn't about what they claim it's about, and they talk about, we really want to do justice to it, and we really want to tell this story. And I've seen a lot of stories about that, TV shows and films, specifically opioids as well, but others just about like, and there's just a lot better ones. And the film is true. The film is, because like all of a sudden you can't take it. It's based apparently on something, but like when it goes into like the bank heist stuff, you're just like really confused as to what you're watching. And it's all just trying to be like cute and stylish with like the shots it's doing, and like the music they play in certain moments. So they'll do certain drone or panning in shots with this certain music that's playing in the scene, and it's like you feel like it feels like they think they're going to be getting a certain reaction from this in the way the camera's moving and the music that's playing. And it's like, you're not earned that. It's just out of nowhere. Now we're watching this and we're meant to feel like it's profound or something. And it's like, I feel like, Tom Holland stepping out of Marvel roles, trying to do something a bit different, trying to prove himself as an actor ultimately. Doing it with the same directors though, and not trying to like branch out properly. Probably a bit of a misstep maybe. Review. Seeing as I just remembered that weird butthole camera thing, I'm just gonna go with a bad pun as always for my review. Because I've got nothing more to say for it. I'm just gonna go with like Tom Pops's no. I was gonna go Tom Pops's cherry. Wait, oh god, the internet's awful. What would be like good for this film? A bit of a review. Cherry. Block. I'm gonna call. My review. I'm gonna go with an opioid blockbuster. Being a bit sarcastic with it. Bit of me. But that's basically what the film is. You got these blockbuster fucking Marvel directors, and they're trying to do this opioid addiction film, and it's like barely about it at all. And it's more about the fucking. They clearly enjoyed much more doing like the Iraq scenes. You know what I mean? It's like just make a war film, and do that. But yeah, I need a glass of water and one of those memory erasers from Men in Black, because remembering that but whole Tom, yeah, get me one of those ASAP. Thanks.